Anyway, I guess we'll get going on the pool by pool review. I've got
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got yours truly. Pool A, Pool 1, I don't know what we call it, but there's 28 of them. I guess it would have to be Pool 1. Pool can't really do letters if it's 28 of them.
We just start
Yeah.
over again.
Double A,
Pool A.
once we get
Yes.
past, yeah. But big team in this one was Argentina A. They comfortably got through against Colombia 3-0 in the last one, the deciding match. And then Colombia, that was to get into Silver League. That's right, yeah. Silver League between them and Mexico. So,
And they dropped a game. It's Mexico. Looks like.
yeah, that's Ozone's team. I think most of them are like 1800-ish, 1v1, and then Ozone is like 2k2.
Yeah.
I need to.
But
Yeah, he's the only one that has a page on Wikipedia. Oh.
our games against Argentina were interesting, for sure.
I heard they picked the wrong Civ or something.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
FedEx. Do you remember how FedEx had this whole thing where he picked the wrong Civ in the RF final?
Yeah.
He done the same thing against us. They double picked the same Civ. It was FedEx again, and it was also Black Forest. I was like, is this for real? They both picked Ethiopians, Nikov and FedEx, and then like FedEx messaged me after the set, just like blaming Nikov, and I don't know who else it was. It was like not my fault. Like Nikov and whoever else was like big noob. I was like, bruv, like come on, like you can't be doing this again.
It's never your fault. It's always someone else's fault.
So we ended up giving them Persian flank on BF and just like hoping they would do the unthinkable. He didn't, unfortunately. He did not dish, but he did try and smush good guy with Persian, like smashing with Persians. I was like, Isaac, he is taking the absolute piss out of you right now. That is just like, imagine smushing with Persians, and it was like double or triple monastery as well. It was like massive investment in it, and like the
I think
clincher.
FedEx used to play a lot of Arena back in the day.
I think that's right.
I think he was like in the finals of one of the Masters of Arena, maybe against Slam or MBL. So yeah, he obviously he can play every map, but he used to play a lot of Arena specifically.
And of course, as a chess GM, getting like 2k3 and a chess GM is like insane.
Mm-hmm.
That just one of them alone is amazing.
Yeah.
I watched a Trespass stream, like it was a couple months ago. Eric Hansen was playing a bit of Age of Empires too. He's like
Really?
he's like 2k9 in chess.com, and oh my god, his Age of Empires play was so bad. Yeah, it's just like so incomprehensible. Like someone is like so good at something that has like such large amount of like nuance and strategy to it, and then like coming to one other thing, and he just like had no idea what to do whatsoever. It was like so refreshing.
Yeah.
I then looked up his
So
account
yeah.
a couple of days ago, and he's not played since.
Yeah, I think yeah, they did one stream something like that, and that's all.
Yeah, if you're like a low player, it's not fun having like all the backseating going on. But if you're just not, I'm not being funny. If you're just not very good, it's probably not the most fun game to stream anyway.
I mean they are chess streamers. They're not gonna. So yeah, Argentina threw in this, unexpected though, because they were their first automatically qualified seed. So they probably played like the lowest seeded team that they could play.
Right. They just missed out on the top four within the last couple of days. Brazil did overtake them in the end. So yeah, they had a relatively easy run to get through to the main event. So no big surprises here at all. Colombia going to Silver League. I'll be interested to see what they can do there. It'll be a bit more clear in the next day or two what the Silver League's going to look like.
I don't think we can like theorize a lot about the shape of Argentina, looking at the opposition they faced. No offense.
Nah. I mean, all I could do was like smile when I opened up my walls and Nikov just spammed like 7 Castle Elite Showtail Warriors at me. With Royal Airs as well. I was like, fuck. I was like all ready to go with my Kilt Boom, Cal Besso. No.
I was watching from I think Mono's stream point of view, and he seemed to have a good time. It was when he plays anyway, but they were having a good time. It seems like.
I had a good time in game 2 as well. My only ambition was to get Atonement and Redemption and just like convert Gary's monks and his camels. Once that happened, we just gladly gave up. God, it
Nice.
was an absolute disaster. Absolute disaster.
I can imagine.
God, but let's move on. We don't need to dwell on that anymore.
Yeah, we have 27 other pools to go through.
I know we're gonna have to
Just
like,
27.
or we should have like a timer on for each one. Q2 is definitely the UK one. UK Ahoy, UK E, UK B. There's been a couple of teams in here. Oh, in fact, this is not the main UK one. There is another UK
No,
one.
this
It's
is
got-
not the main.
Oh
UK,
my god.
Yeah.
This is another one where the UK is trying to take over.
Just the other.
So top seed
So
is
this
in here.
one,
This is like the side attempt at taking over.
yeah. This one ended up being a bit disappointing, I feel like, because Chile B couldn't field the team, so they gave admin loss. But then again, Vietnam C2, I think, of the whole qualifiers.
Yeah,
Is
they
that
should
how it
be.
works? Yeah.
Mhm.
So probably would have been like favorites to win easily. So
Yeah, it probably would have been pretty challenging for them.
yeah.
And honestly, the
Yeah.
games that I did see from Vietnam, they looked pretty solid. In all honesty.
They have been grinding ladder a lot.
Yeah, and there is that
From what
aspect
I've-
to it as well.
Yeah, and they play long hours, from what I've seen on Spec Dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It's
unlike
gonna be interesting to see how they do without BACT and ACCM. Because they have potential to be like one of the best.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by ACCM. Honestly, not playing that one doesn't surprise me. But BACT a little more so, considering he's been a little bit more active recently. But as far as I'm aware, he's only been active in TTL because it was like it was
he
like
played it.
he earned it, right? So it was like guaranteed money for him, like no matter what.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And he played super well at GTL actually.
He
All
did.
things
He
considered.
really did.
Like without
He
much
got
practice,
third,
he
right?
made
In his
he
group.
made the made the
And-
final phases. I think
And
he
he was
lost
playing NAC as
to
well
Jordan.
this week.
He did a little bit less good.
Yeah,
He lost to
yeah.
Hart.
Yeah, I mean, still
Which-
taking game of Heart. I think Heart's in a lot better shape. So
Yeah, I guess.
So I think that's it's nice to see someone that's been inactive for 5 months still be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it.
But if he was playing for Vietnam and ACCM as well, it could have been a really. They probably would be chance for a top 4 slot depending on how things work
Yeah.
out.
I feel
Mhm.
like if you look back at 2017, ACCM has to be one of those guys who improved the most since then.
Yeah. Was it?
Well, I mean, out of the guys who were already active,
Active
'cause
then.
obviously
Yeah. I think
there are a
that's-
lot of
yeah.
guys who were not even playing back in 2017 and are super good right now. So
Mhm.
This is obviously my I mean, I know I've followed a lot, but wasn't it like seen as back to say my name and then like ACCM in the team?
I think it was
Hopefully
Bhakti ACCM and then say my name. He was still number 2, but he was like he had that kind of unconventional gameplay where he was playing just like very aggressive, lots of towers and stuff like that. And now it's very well rounded.
Yeah, I think the only reason for me that it took a while before I heard about ACCM because everyone's always the say my name meme with and also not meme but like say my name and then but is yellow and like that, so I just heard about him more often.
What is his name? Is his name actually from Breaking Bad? Is that what that's from?
Actually, I don't know. I think he was always yellow and people.
There's just like there's a famous scene in like Breaking Bad with like Walter White's main character Heisenberg like saying Sema he's like he's sitting in like a drug meeting with someone else and he's like demanding that the guy say he goes say my name because he's looking
I don't
for like,
know.
he's looking for a way to like it's like a power he's trying to get authority over the guy. I think that's like in pop culture, but it's probably most.
Yeah, you'd have to ask him because Say My Name has been active like probably for 15 years, and he has had lots of nicknames. He used to go by like a Vietnamese name, which I don't know if it's like his real life name. Then he was Yellow for many years, VNS Yellow.
Yeah,
and then
yeah, I remember that.
Semi-Name. He was already Semi-Name in like 2016, 2017, and people were all calling him Yellow. I think nowadays people start calling him Semi-Name, but nicks they tend to stick to people, so it's hard to change.
I guess that does line up with Breaking Bad kind of timeline as well.
Yeah, it could be.
I need to ask him. I always used to think Viper's name was from Game of Thrones.
No.
And then I found out it was because Randy Orton. I was like, man, that is way less cool. But like naming yourself over Oberyn from Game of Thrones, I'm like, yeah, I can see that. That's pretty cool, man. He's like probably one of the best characters in the full series. No, I named myself over Randy Orton.
To be fair, I think Vipers chose the name before Game of Thrones.
Technically,
I think so
technically could be a big book reader and just love a Song of Ice and Fire. Which have been out since the 90s.
That's also true.
Yeah, it was first published in '96, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, and it's practically finished now.
Well,
we're not getting the last ones.
Yeah.
Sad.
Should we move to the next pool?
Yeah, Q3.
I think it's an ongoing match actually.
Chile A, Hungary A. Yes, I believe that's starting. I think it might be right about now, or it did 30 minutes ago.
Wikipedia says it's live, so it should be
they are
ongoing.
in
And
lobby.
they're playing Black Forest.
Yeah, they're in lobby at the moment.
So Chile A, they are one of the. I mean, they're pot 1 seeded team if they do get through. So you would be expecting a good result from them. Most of the players are like 2k3 1v1. It's a very good level, but even I think the Hungary team are actually not too shabby. They're obviously not Chile's level, but they have got some decent players with the most kind of hovering around 2k.
Yeah. I would still expect Chile to win this comfortably. But who knows? They haven't played yet because Paraguay give them admin loss. So
this is the Chile B team from the last Nations Cup, right?
Yes.
The double castle conch.
Yeah.
Guys.
But I don't remember why they were Chile B last Nations Cup because they've always been like the best players.
Who knows?
In the Chile team. Yeah.
Teams giving themselves their own letters and all that.
Yeah. And Chile A didn't make it to the group stage last time, while Chile B did, infamously beating Germany. But
yes, it was.
Yeah, that was like the big upset of the qualifier rounds last time. Chile B upset Germany A, which was It was supposed to be a very strong team because Jordan had come back, and
Yeah,
they got upset like 3-2 with like a very wacky strategy on cross where Chile B they went for double castle conquistadors and they just like wrecked everything. It was Noisig playing the Spanish and killing Germany.
God. Double Castle Conk sounds horrendous.
Yeah.
it was great. Oh, Chile played against Spain in the last qualifying round.
Okay.
Last
But
time,
do you
that's why they did.
Oh,
no,
does
no,
it
no.
say
That's
any
before.
of the players?
No, it doesn't. Say... Wait, I can. Are we? Players were Sobek, Wacko, and then some guy called Caton and Erubio. Chile's back and Burn. Yeah, like there's only 2 players here that I remember, that I know or have heard of before. So maybe it was. Yeah, no, the A team has changed a lot since last time, and it's basically all the B team players with. Sobek is playing this time, right? Yeah, it's Sobek plus the B team from previous Nations Cup.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've all improved. They even took a game off Gamer Legion in Boa last year. So
Yeah, I remember watching that and feeling like, oh boy, Chile have a chance here. Then they just like imploded the rest of the series. But you're playing GL, so there's probably no expectation. They're probably happy to take a game in that instance.
yeah,
I think the Hungary winning 2-0 against Argentina D was slightly surprising to me because like Argentina D is actually pretty decent players like Aramis, Maxi, and
Yeah.
all like the Sigma guys. So like for the even to like I would have seen like 2-1 either way there, but to win 2-0 was actually I feel like a pretty good result.
Yeah, that's actually like a solid win for sure.
Like, at the very least they're going to be in Silver League, so it's great for them. I think best case scenario to take a game from Chile.
Yeah. I think that'd be like a very good result for them.
We can keep our eyes on Wikipedia. That's going to be B2 Hungary now. Okay, on to Q4 then. Spain, if I'm right? It is.
Yeah.
It is Spain. I think this one's getting played right now as well, but there shouldn't be too many major upsets.
It starts in half an hour, yeah. According to
United
Wikipedia.
States C as Springsteen, if I
that's
remember
Spring.
correct.
Yeah, Springsteen.
I think it should go to Spain.
Maybe USA takes 1 game, but
Like
yeah, I think Spain is probably gonna field their best team. So
yeah.
I don't. Nothing's nothing will be a surprise with the results. I think.
Mhm.
I would, yeah, I wouldn't. Can't really see past Spain, of course, being one of the top seeded teams. But trying to remember who else is in United States C. This is Biscuit as well, I think. Is Ray in it? Is this
I
Ray's
think
team?
Ray, maybe I.
Yes. Improvise, Adam, and I can't pronounce the other guy's name.
Yeah, Biscuit,
I'm
Ray,
stunned.
I, Fav, Forever, Spring, Improvise, and Adam.
Okay, they have
Fav,
Adam,
Ray,
so
Forever.
anything is possible
Yeah.
with Adam.
Right.
Either in a good way or in a bad way.
he levels up.
Let's see,
Yeah,
Adam
but
way.
yeah, they'll be very much the
I think
outsider.
I'll try and watch these games back because it will be interesting to see how Spain lines up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it will give us like some good insight on the shape of Spain, especially the side that doesn't have Tato on. So
Yeah. Is Taro is he's streaming just now, isn't he?
No, he stopped streaming. I think they're busy with like maybe some last prep.
Yeah,
He-
that does make sense. Oh, at the very least, United States are going to be in Silver League after beating Greece A. Greece, of course, had Jeddah and Mista. I don't know if they played though.
No, they didn't. I'm looking at
I
it.
didn't think so.
Bit unfortunate, but I think especially like Mr. is probably focusing on Golden League
Mm-hmm.
as well now. Although they did play this a week ago, but actually no, it was qualifiers last week for that as well. So yeah, he's probably focusing on that. It would have been nice to see him play, but I don't really expect.
I know, just like a couple of random games, you know, or like just coming in for like one of them would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, there's still a chance. Nations Cup's running
For months.
for a while. Yeah.
For quite a while.
So is Golden League, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. We're a bit of
But yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see something like Greece and bronze. Maybe that'd be something they could go for, especially for like because bronze in theory should be something like very casual players. It'd be kind of cool for them to like have the chance to play. It's not like Mista's like a massive superstar, but in terms of like Age of Empires, it probably is someone that's very
I mean, like,
recognizable.
Mista and Jidba, they both have like lots of achievements in the Age of Empires world. Like, even though this is RM AoE 2, of course, but Mista, like, one of the best at Age of Mythology, super good at Age 4. Jidba, Deathmatch Legend. So those are like prestigious names to play against, I feel like.
Definitely. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully they do. And quick shout out to Germany I going into Wood League. I think that's the last one. I'm pretty sure Germany I is the last one. It's kind of crazy we got to that point. I don't think there's a J.
I mean, there's an Argentina K.
Oh my god.
It's usually the teams that Argentina has a lot, Germany has a lot, and France has a lot. But I don't think France has.
No, France doesn't have nearly as many.
They go to E, but they could easily.
UK has UKH, so not too far.
Wait,
That's a 155th team. USA H as well. Yeah, Argentina K is the probably the most.
Argentina with the biggest representation. Wowzers. Okay, let's move on to Q5 then. Should be their first one of the Pool 2 teams, or the Pot 2 teams. That's Russia. And top of the press, Russia and Latvia just finished. They played at 18 GMT, so those games were pretty fast, and they did win that. 3-0.
Oh, yeah. Not surprising. Also, I think Latvia was struggling with players.
Yeah, like I see on Wikipedia, Refactoring is one of their players. Is that Knifer, or is it like a fifth player that they added?
It's another player they've added. I think they were having some difficulties with one of the players not being available this week. We did have the substitution rule, where as long as they weren't going to be like affecting like the seeding, someone could get subbed down. And refactoring was one of those instances where it was fine to do so. But probably a step down from what they had. I don't know who was unavailable for for Latvia, sorry, but Valorant and Klask is probably the two. You know, like they're like higher level players. If you miss one of them, you're really going to hurt your chances as it is.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I think I watched some of the games against Taiwan C.
Yeah, the second game on Arabia was insane.
Yes, I saw that. I was with the with pocket forwarded from Taiwan forwarding Latvia's pocket.
Dude, that that forward was one of the most stupid, like unbelievable, best things I ever saw in terms of like an American strat.
You can ask Tarsiz. This was like previous Nations Cup.
I should watch that. And that's actually an upset if you look at the seeding, because Taiwan C was seed 56 and Latvia was seed 65. So
Mm,
props on them for winning this.
yeah, and Latvia going to Silver League. It's a nice one for them, and they'll get some.
Yeah.
They'll still get a higher level, and if they get to their 65, they should be technically right on like the limit, right, for one of the lower seeded teams for silver in theory. So good for them, 100%.
Nice. But yeah, Russia making it to the main event, probably expected. Yeah, pretty strong team.
I think I wanna see more of Russia. Like skill wise, because they also in this like where Spain is, they have like two good players, Dark and Winchester, like, and they balance out, or they split sides and how they balance with the a little bit lower rated players. And I think yeah, and that's so I'm interesting to see how they develop through the tournament.
Yeah.
As well.
So if I understand correctly, Russia is gonna be Pod B as well for the main stage.
They'll be Pod
That's interesting as well. Yeah, Pod 2. So I feel looking at the results for the other, well, not to spoil ahead, but I think they might be one of the like weakest teams of Pod B. So we'll see like what they can do. Yeah, but I think there are probably some teams that would be happy to get Russia as the Pod B 2 team
Yeah,
in their group.
they don't like strike fear into you, but they could play well. It's just a bit of a question mark. But I totally get what you're saying. But they're definitely not a team that you go from like the second pot and go, oh, I hope we don't get them. By the way, guys, that's going to be a real tough draw. That's one of the teams you're like leaning towards that you do want. Okay, let's go on to the next one then. Q6.
That is
China.
Group.
I'm talking about being scared of teams in the second pot. China
exactly.
are probably the one that everyone wants to avoid, and I'm already bracing myself for it tomorrow night when the rage I get from whatever pot one team it is. It does end up getting them, and pot
probably
3
Argentina.
and pot 4. Yeah. I'm just gonna turn my phone and my laptop off for a couple of days.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea. I watched the China Switzerland set earlier.
I mean, you could have like a super stack pot with like China A, Norway A, and then China B, and any team in pot A. That could be like an extremely stacked group, I think.
Yeah, I already put a potential group up in Twitter earlier on today. It was Finland, China A. This is where it gets dumb. Norway, China B.
Norway. Yeah. I feel like China A, Norway, and China B are probably the strongest teams in pot 2, 3, and 4, respectively.
Yeah, I would say so.
that could be a crazy group. Hopefully, it's a bit more balanced than that.
Well, it is possible. That's the thing, but the likelihood of it happening is, of course, slim, like mathematically. But you just never know. So you look at like the Euros from what year? The one it was France, Germany, and Portugal on the same group with Hungary. The most recent Euros. That's
so
probably
that was last year.
Yeah, that's probably like the best thing I can compare it to.
Yeah.
I think this 2020 that was the 2020 one. It was played in 21. Am I right with that?
Yeah, I think it was 21. Yeah, for sure. Because I was still in the UK back then. Yeah.
God, that was if it happens on the biggest stage of football, there's like always a chance. And they're like, I guess their ranking seeding process is a lot more. don't know. Well, it's
don't
definitely
know.
more effective than what we currently have in like Age of Empires, because like there was no such thing as like seeding for team game tourneys. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think some teams here, like, because the seeding was great, but it also depends on the teams working towards getting where they belong. And evidently, in Norway A didn't care about doing that, and
China
China B
also,
didn't care either.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they just played lobby games against each other.
Yeah, which is the downside of it. That would see that's a major downside, but we will see what tomorrow brings. But we'd be
yeah,
expecting big things from China in the main event anyway, and definitely going to be
yeah,
the
definitely the one team that no team in pot one would want to face, I think. So
and pot 3 and pot 4.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll be the one that people just don't want.
yeah,
They want
yeah.
any chance of making it through. That's going to be a rough. It's especially a rough one for a pot 3 team, because pot 3 teams are going to have some chances in some groups, but the one that gets China,
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna
like,
you're gonna have
okay.
to be pretty special to pull something out of that group.
Yeah.
Hope you play them when Yo is maybe at NA. Wait, if Yo made it, I don't know. Are we allowed to talk about NAC?
He was playing today, right, when the game was going on.
Yeah. That said, I don't know if anyone hasn't watched it yet. So if Yo makes
If
it
you
to
makes it
NAC,
to NAC,
yeah,
they will
like
want to
you
play.
that you schedule for that week when he's not playing. If you're the lowest seed
He didn't play today, so
team, seeded team.
it potentially could happen again. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
It could definitely happen again. Okay, Q7.
This is. Oh,
It's another pretty strong one, I think.
Yeah, Mexico.
That's
And I believe I could played today or yesterday. I'm sure I've seen it reported. It just needs to get put into the start GG. Did I see it?
So
yes,
it was played.
It's on Liquid.
It was played last night.
It's on Wikipedia. Mexico won 3-0. Black Forest Team Island Nomad. And they played. Oh no, I was gonna say they played without Kingston, but they played with Kingston. And yeah, looks like a pretty convincing win. And I think
Yeah.
Mexico is one of the maybe one of the strongest teams in pot 2 after China.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with them, in all honesty. And I was kind of impressed with Poland B beating Hong Kong A 2-0 as well. So getting through to that actual deciding series was, to me, quite surprising. So good on them. But I do agree with the Mexico point. I think good,
Yep.
strong 1v1 players and seem to have a lot of team game. Experience of each
So
other. All combi guys.
yeah, they were seeded 53 and Hong Kong was 67, so they were still ahead by virtue of seeding. But still, like I would have thought that Hong Kong was kind of an underrated team, but apparently not, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to say I think they missed two of their best players.
Yeah, like Ming is playing for China B
and Dragon Bow as
and
well.
Dragon Bow as well. Yeah, so definitely reduces the strength of the lineup quite a bit.
Sure. I still looked at the team though and thought, like it's not like you said, I still looked at them before and thought it's probably an underrated team to be at like 67. But like, proof is in the pudding, I guess.
Maybe they had an off day.
Yeah, and Poland B, in fairness, do play quite a bit together as well.
Yeah.
And there's probably a bit of
and they probably
the
also
A-team.
practice.
Yeah.
Which it definitely does help.
And that'll be the luxury for some nations like Poland. I guess you could have said the same for Finland, but we'll get on to that one. Vietnam, it will work out. There's a few situations where it's going to be good for both teams to kind of scrimmage against each other, mix up teams, and do all these different things. Okay, let's keep the show moving. Oh my god, it's 10 to 8
Yeah.
already, and we're on Q8. Jeez. Okay,
This is
USA. So
I'm
they
gonna
had,
say no surprises here.
yeah.
Well, it looks like an upset. Argentina E probably is lower than Australia B. Looking at the draw. But
I don't know.
I think
Uh,
because like on Paradox screen they are below Australia B, and I think the higher seed is always above.
I just mean like
Yeah.
the team that is playing for Austria B. It's basically everyone that's not in the A team. So
It's not a bad
I mean-
team though.
Yeah, their seeding is like 2100, so
Like they've got Hammer Time, they've got Bog Sauce. Timberhawk Vandy's not bad either.
Renagus.
oh wait, crap. I saw Austria.
This is local Sers in this team.
Yeah, I don't know how much he played.
I don't know
I don't
either.
know his level.
I think he's like
I actually
16,
don't know
1700
any of the guys in the Argentina E lineup. Like none of the names.
I recognize Landy, but apart from that, and Local Ser, I don't know the rest of them. No idea, but
Yeah.
Landy's the one I do recognize with Local Ser, of course. The crazy caster. All due respect.
It's the only Lacoste is the only one I know about. Everyone else, there's too many.
But
Too
yeah,
much.
so USA makes it, and they played 5 players. It looks like Flu and Eli played every game. And then Daniel played 2, Hassan played 2, and Ink played 2 as well.
And they
So
probably don't have a closed map.
no Scotty or T90 yet.
Or Bloodless. Or did he play?
I think he played against Norway. No?
it could be, yeah.
Pretty sure he played against
So
Norway.
yes, Bloodless. Against Norway was Ink, Flu, Eli, and Bloodless on Arabia and Arena.
Yeah.
And we've seen him practice with them as well, so
Mhm.
I think he might be included. Like I guess he's like more of a close map specialist.
From what
That's
I've
good
been
to
told,
know.
yes. That is going to
Yeah.
be more of his role.
I know Flu and Eli are especially good Nomad players.
Yeah,
And
I
I
would
think
say that's where they're more likely to shine. Yeah.
yeah, and Daniel definitely like a very strong open map player. Well, he's good on every map, of course, but especially probably on Arabia, maybe Team Acropolis, this kind of stuff.
Yeah, Daniel's an interesting one because he's definitely the most talented player on the team. But from whatever I've been told from players that play team games with him, he's always someone that does need some sort of like guidance or a captain,
Guidance.
like a captain figure to be there in the game and really
I feel like
dictate terms.
it's probably the role that Flu is gonna take, kind of being team captain for USA. So, and he has lots of experience, like in team games and all that. So,
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's get on to Q9.
yeah.
And Canada and Germany E getting played right now, as far as I'm aware. It should have been 19 GMTs, 1954.
Yeah, that one is underway, and it looks like it's Team Acropolis, the first game.
Yeah, they're still in game 1.
And it should be a quick
gonna be
one.
the Nations Cup. Yeah,
It should be a quick one. With Slovakia A actually had to drop out. They had some miscommunications within the team, if I remember correctly. Someone wasn't available, and I don't know like how severe it was, but they decided to just completely drop from the tournament, which is fair enough if there's been something that's went on internally and people not happy with each other. I totally understand it.
Yeah. So Germany E is it's seat 69. So
nice.
It's yeah. Canada is seat 13, so it's gonna probably be should be very straightforward for Canada. Win
Oh,
this
that's
one.
Slovakia's seed.
Slovakia was in between both. It was 52, so they were actually quite close to Germany. It could have been like an interesting match if they had been able to play, but I guess not.
Slovakia had some interesting players. That's a shame. Like Andre was signed up. I'm trying to remember now.
Illusionist as well.
Yeah, Illusionist. There we go. I'm not sure if
But yeah,
Mr.
so
Planner was, but I think Mr. Planner would be more.
Mr. Planner is from Slovenia. It's not from
Yeah,
Slovakia.
that's right. Yeah, that's
So he
right.
could have played with Modri, but
But they aren't.
Slovenia didn't.
Didn't sign up. Yeah. So that's just a shame they decided to drop, but you know, these things happen. We move on.
Yeah, for sure.
Fully expecting Canada to get through quite games tonight. I don't know who's going to be playing, but I think the last round was like Ra, Slam,
Silver Star
Mentalist.
played all the games. Chris.
Yeah.
Basically,
no
not
Hera
Dave
so far.
Just
Survivalist.
yeah, basically no
But
Hera.
they played right after his TTL set.
That's
so
right.
I expected that he didn't play, and he's probably not gonna play it until probably in
I
more
mean this
important stages.
lineup has a lot of depth, so they can probably afford not to play him until the stakes are higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they get a good group as well, it's also.
Yeah,
Although I think they'll have a good run, but
I think so as well. I would prefer the players that want to like dip in and out of the tournament, which is absolutely fine. I would rather they feel more energized for the knockout stage than for the group stage. So it'll be interesting to see, like, depending on groups, like who decides like that's the right situation for them.
I think Canada has a very high ceiling, but I don't know how
too.
they're gonna perform.
I think so
Because
too.
like looking at the teams from Pool B, Pot B, Pot 2, I feel like they kind of middle of the road, maybe like higher tier. Like I would rank them below China and Mexico, maybe, and ahead of the rest. So yeah, they could be a contender, honestly, against some teams of Pot 1 as well. So
I put them ahead of Russia
interesting
for
to
sure.
see. Yeah, for sure.
Which is like they mean that like, but definitely behind those other two. And then I guess you could even argue they'd be competitive against Chile and Spain, maybe even winning those sets. So
yeah,
yeah,
I think this could be interesting sets.
definitely
So,
one to keep an
we'll
eye
see.
on. Even without Hera, if he doesn't play.
Yes.
I just have a feeling he's going to play group
if
stage.
Hera plays, yeah.
Then
If Hera plays, it's gonna be a very scary team.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Oh, Hera Slam on inside.
And flying.
Chris and Mentalist.
No,
That's
I think
a dream lineup.
I think Silver Star is gonna play the most.
Silver Star ahead of Mentalist.
He's really good. Like his
Mentalist is like godlike.
I know. I just like Silver Star is my gonna be the standard play for the tournament. That's my prediction. That's just the way, like, I know ladder games, but what I saw when he was like queuing 4v4s and they play like stacks, he really played well, and he's my play. He's my player to watch. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
He's the only player on the roster that doesn't have a Wikipedia page yet. So maybe he's gonna earn it with the Nations Cup.
He needs to get those points, baby.
He
okay, let's go on to Q10.
Yeah.
And this was Poland. And this was one of the series we were all going to watch out for, which was against New Zealand in the deciders. But unfortunately, New Zealand couldn't take a game, but probably unrealistic. Anyway, against Poland.
Big sad.
Okay, there's the interesting thing is Poland played without Barles for the final set as well. Like he didn't play any of the games against New Zealand, which means that Poland is actually even stronger than when they showed.
I do believe El Nino played this time, and he's been playing most of the games now, which he didn't in the show match. I can't remember. I'm struggling to even remember who that was against now.
Germany.
Germany. That's right. So he was missing from that one. Barros actually played there. So I guess Poland, strictly speaking, still haven't shown their full kind of lineup, which is like
It could be a dark horse.
I think they are. Honestly, for me, I think they are. If they have like full
Yeah.
strength, they could do some great things.
And they can rotate lots of players actually, because I feel like maybe El Noniro, Jack, and Balls are gonna be like the mainstay. But then they have Zastozy, Arg, and Jam Jack, who could be like the other, could also play. So lots of good players, lots of depth in that roster. So probably a lot of different abilities depending on maps. Yeah,
I was really
I think
impressed with how I
strong.
saw Satoshi play on Black Forest.
Yeah, I think
So-
that's his specialty.
If you can like carve out roles for certain players to come on certain maps, I think that's probably the best thing you can do, because all the staples of like team game maps are there. There's like BF, Arabia, Nomad, and Arena. So if you have like someone has a specialty, like just have them in these maps and share their wisdom. I think that could set a big edge for some teams instead of just having like pure like all round players. Or certainly specialty players should have a big impact.
Yep.
Panda, anything on New Zealand Day? Are you still feeling a bit sad?
I got a message from Kiwi after the last podcast, and Corin is from New Zealand because remember I wasn't sure. He is from New Zealand, but he's mostly playing Age of Empires 3 now. Apparently, I heard.
God.
He still watches, but like AV2 tourneys sometimes. But yeah, he's kind of busy with real life and stuff.
Age free. I'm not gonna say anything against that.
If I would have thought maybe Age of Empires 4, but I mean, people like what they like, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Silver League for them. Hopefully they get some good results. We'll be keeping an eye on them and maybe cast some of them games. Let's get on to Q11 then. And Austria A. They did have some issues with I can't remember what the issues were. They had some issues, but Germany have decided to just concede the rest of the series, and that was without Leary. They were down 1-0, but probably don't give them many chances to go against Austria, even Leary. But they did beat Spain B to give themselves the chances there. So from what I was told and what I spoke with Mango, they're quite happy to be in Silver League. Yeah, they're quite happy to be there.
The Spain B game is also a bit of an upset. I think there's like 20 seeding spots between them.
Yeah.
So that's a big result.
Oh yes, Spain B was my favorite team with Poxo. So heartbreaking.
You're just a simp for Poxel, man.
Yeah, I am. So Germany F is like actually seed 71, and I think Germany is the only nation that has like Germany F was in the qualifying round, which is the only nations to have so many teams in the qualifying rounds.
It's insane, really, isn't it? The depth that Germany has.
Because there is France C, Finland C, Argentina E was there as well.
So one behind.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah, so well done to them. Hopefully they make the most Silver League.
Yeah.
As well, but unlucky Spain B. I'd really be expecting like Spain B to clear up like bronze now.
Yeah.
And if they don't, well, it's going to be questions for sure.
Big questions.
They're definitely going to be one of the front runners for bronze.
They could get revenge, right? The bottom half of Silver League drops down, so maybe they meet Germany F again, and then we can have a rematch.
Yeah, there's always potential for it. I like that the knockout stages of the brackets are fluid and go in between each other. So There's
Yeah,
certainly,
that's exciting. Yeah.
yeah, there's certainly
Yeah.
potential for that.
Sadly, we can't say much about Austria A performance there because, like, yeah, obviously they were missing freaking Andy and Leary, so didn't see a lot from them. But yeah, have to see if they play in the group stage. I feel like Andy at least will play, and then for Leary, it's a big question mark.
Andy's going to play everyone. I can almost feel a lot of confidence saying that, unless there's something with like NEC, GMB going on. I think GMB finals he'll be through to now.
But yeah, like tanks, LB10, freaking Andy probably, and freaking Chris might be maybe like the usual four with hopefully Leary once in a while.
Mhm.
Uh,
I think they have enough
Not
there.
sure how I rank them in pot 2. I feel like they might be one of the weakest teams of pot 2. I don't like using weak because there's already like all of these teams are obviously super strong. But compared to like China A, Mexico A, or even like Russia, USA, Poland, they do feel like
they're a big
on the lower
question mark.
half of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it
I
all
mean,
depends on
they're
Leary.
yeah, they're 7 out of 8 of that pool, so probably seeding would indicate that they're. But yeah, interesting to see. Obviously, Austria is a team with an interesting dynamic because of Leary and freaking Andy, who's
On the
become super good too.
yeah, on the rise, so it does make it super interesting. And then the other players are capable as well. So
Yeah.
certainly a team to like just keep an eye on throughout the tournament.
For sure.
Okay, let's go on to Q12 then.
Which is the UK.
UKA sneaking into
UK
pot
field.
2. I think sneaking into pot 2. So they had the same score as Argentina B, and they had tiebreaker. I can't remember exactly what the tiebreaker was, but I think it was based off the team game factor.
Is it not like the rounding thing?
I can't.
I was
can't.
expecting them to be like 0.1 ahead or something like that.
Yeah, I can't fully remember, but I think they definitely had higher team game factor, which I think was maybe used. I can't remember. It's like we're going back a few
Okay.
weeks now. There's been too much. My brain has turned to mush by that point. But they've snuck into pot 2 anyway, and this is the UK pool: UKF, UKC, and UKA, and all this one with Morocco A mixed in as well, who was the deciding series to get into the main event, but UKA pretty convincingly winning that one 3-0.
Yeah, I don't think there were much upsets here. Would have hoped like UKC had a better showing, but
Against Belarus? Oh no, against Morocco.
Yeah.
Oh, UKC is Pete's team, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were because they have a solid team, but I can't remember what happened in those games. So
and Morocco is 20 seeds ahead, so I guess it does make sense.
they played Team Islands. I know that.
The games were pretty convincing actually for Morocco.
Were they?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
they were really convincing.
It's not like Morocco is lacking team game experience too. They're playing together all the time, so
all the
not
time.
surprising by this result.
But
how
Silver League would
were
be great.
the games between Morocco A and UKA?
I don't think those were a surprise either.
Well, were any of the game close or
I couldn't watch. I had to go to bed early.
As far as I remember, the games were pretty fast. They weren't exactly lengthy games.
Which I feel like this is kind of confidence boost for UK. They were expecting to win 3-0, but it's still pretty good because I think Morocco is a decent team.
Yeah, maybe some of the team members need a confidence boost. I don't think all of UKA needs a confidence boost.
Yeah, Boo probably doesn't need a confidence boost.
But yeah, maybe a confidence boost for some players for sure.
Yeah.
As in terms of like for a gold, the main event kind of like decider, I think like Morocco's like it's not a team that was probably going to test you too much, but they're probably a good enough level that was going to like at least push you a little bit. So you're actually going to have to earn it. So it's in terms of like favorable matchups for that kind of last round, I feel like that was a good one for UK.
Yeah.
To get the most out of it. Okay, let's get on to 13. Unlucky for some. That is Argentina B. That's going to get played tomorrow. I had some issues scheduling.
Against Taiwan B.
Yeah, I had some issues scheduling this one. It has been scheduled though.
I can see why. They're both on the opposite.
Yeah.
They're opposite sides of the world. So
yeah.
So
in that group, the first round, Netherlands B against Indonesia A was
a surprise.
I think, yeah, but I also know Netherlands B. Those are the old like T90 guys that we used to play with a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Grim and Hank.
Yeah.
Grim, Hank. Okay,
Mac
that's
Mouse.
cool.
But I think they have a what's his name? Player Loki. He's like 1800. I might be wrong now, but he didn't play at all. So
okay.
And Hank like just came back from. Yeah, he didn't play for a while, so you could see he was a bit rusty and lagging. But game one, they played on Golden Lakes. It was really convincing for Netherlands, and then it was Nomad. I posted a screenshot of the mini map where blue, the other. Sorry about that. But they had Netherlands had one guy between four of Indonesia's players, and he didn't cause enough disruption. And then I didn't see the last game. I couldn't find the spectate link. So I don't know what happened there, but I think if Loki was playing, it might have been a different result. And also, I think Indonesia A might be the team South Africa plays in the first round of Wooden League.
Are you guys in bronze?
No. It's because whoever loses that bronze decider is the team we play, and I was on the assumption that they will lose to Mexico.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. That's no. We
I was just about to take issue that you guys made it further than us.
No. If we made it further than you, it's big.
God.
Yeah. No. I just if I clicked the links correctly, it kept every time it led me to Indonesia A against Mexico D. So it's one of. I assume Indonesia will probably lose that. I don't know if they've played already, but just because there was already a bit of an upset, that result.
Yeah, which is what. Actually, the first Nations Cup we've got an Indonesia team, if I remember correctly. I think that's what Wei told me. So
yeah,
I think it's a pretty good result.
I'll
like
be
that.
Right back. Let me quickly do something.
Netherlands have been a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Well, I'm counting on Netherlands D to win the wooden spoon league, whatever. So this is my team of heart. So we'll see.
Is that Sci-Fly's team and whatnot?
That's Sci-Fly's team.
Oh
yes.
My God,
Sci-Fly, Eivik, Nimeno, and Foghorn.
That team is pure copium. But those guys have been around forever, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to be cheering them on.
Yeah.
Have Netherlands won any set, as Pete says? I don't think so. I mean, I guess.
Let me check for Netherlands. Well, I mean, Netherlands A won one set at least because they were in the final set. So yeah, they won against T West and Ornlu.
That's right. Yeah.
But anyway, going back to the mainstay, we have Argentina B against Taiwan B, and I think this could be close. I feel like Arg should be like heavy favorites because of the lineup.
I don't.
Beery, Twig, Cabot.
Yeah, Levi or Whatever you
Levi.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they have a
Levi's a
really good
nice
team.
guy.
Is
I've played
he
it before.
like? There's one of them who's like a musician. He used to go by Pela. I don't know if
Yes,
this is
that's
the same
Levi.
guy.
That's Levi.
Yeah,
They're
Yeah.
the same guy. Yeah, and they have Carbo as
yeah.
well, who's also a Champions
Like
League
a
level
professional
footballer.
footballer. Yeah.
So they've got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Levi is like a musician living in Japan or something like that.
Ah, okay. I think that they should be pretty convincing, in all honesty. I can maybe see Taiwan picking Nomad as a home map and maybe getting a game there, but aside from
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
don't really
Yeah,
see
that's fair
anything
enough.
else. That would be my
Because Taiwan
prediction.
B has Rory and KW, whose name I recognize, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Like they're like decent
mean,
players. Maybe
yeah.
they can do something on Arabia, but I don't give them too many chances.
Yeah, I feel like
Messy maps.
Capoch, Twig are like just like very, very strong
Yeah,
players.
I
So
think realistically they win like Nomad if they get the chance to play it, and then that's it.
yeah.
I'd expect 3-1 to Argentina.
Maybe Team Islands. I know that Taiwanese teams.
Yeah, they love their bolting, right?
Yes. Well, the landings.
Yeah, and that.
And that.
Alrighty, let's get on to 14 then. Does that mean we're halfway through?
Oh god.
Okay, we gotta
We need to be faster.
We gotta pick up the pace. Okay, so this
So
is a
next one
Turkey
is
USB. Well, we don't really need to spend a lot of time on this one, which is quite good.
Yeah.
It's in the process of getting scheduled. I think everybody knows what's going on with Turkey right now. Obviously, massive disaster that's kind of affected the whole country, and certain players affected, families affected, and it's not scheduled as of yet. Don't really have an outcome for it as of this moment, but hopefully we do get something played in the next day or two. But it's hard to say at this point. Obviously,
yeah.
you don't think-
USB is Log's team, so we know these guys.
We want them to make it through.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Because
it's a bit
they-
it's obviously very sad circumstances
Yeah.
for the Turkey team. Hopefully they can manage to play and yeah, get a good set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think it could. I think it could have competitive potential.
It
Between
could
them.
be a good set,
Yes,
yeah, for
for
I
sure.
really do think it could be.
This is what I think we said last time. This was our first, we think we're the first lower seeded team that can make it through, potentially. And yeah, I can definitely go either way.
Yeah, I think there's potential there. So, yeah, I've got my fingers crossed. Trying to work with both teams in this one, and we'll kind of see what transpires over the next couple of days. And
Yep.
Let's see. Let's go on to 15.
Yep.
15,
That is Taiwan A.
It's Taiwan A. Already made it through against Italy B, and Italy B, actually, pretty decent team.
Yeah.
If I remember right, that's Mathieu, Zuccolo, Reid, Lloris, Simval in there as well. Not a bad team by any means. Sir Eloquent in there.
Yeah.
But did get beat 3-0 of Taiwan A, but
Yeah, Taiwan's pretty stacked lineup.
yeah.
Sora Kuma, Cloud, and Demon Sheep probably like the strongest three, and then they have Prids and Albis who are like more recent players, I think, but quite a lot improved. Albis is the League of Legends guy, right?
I'm not too sure, but I think that it does ring a bell, if that's right. But like Cloud, C4,
According to Wikipedia, yes.
Both of them are actually Prids and Albis both have League of Legends pages.
Okay, well they can click for sure.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to click pretty damn fast.
Albus has approximate winnings of $72,000.
Huh?
That's decent.
In league, as
I mean,
that's well off.
It's not fucking bad, is it?
No. It says it's retired now. I'm like, damn.
Pete says they're world champions.
Damn.
God, imagine if like Cloud gets them up to speed.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say the ratings on their Wikipedia page? I guess they don't have any Age of Empires one, right?
He is like 2K, 2100 highest.
Interesting.
Well,
I think they have a really solid team.
Yeah.
I just don't know where their ceiling is.
To me, they are one of the best team in pot 3. Honestly, looking at
They are probably the
otherwise.
team that nobody wants to play against because of, like the because their games are usually messy, right? And
yeah, they're gonna be doing forward ranges and all of that jazz.
yeah, and they're good on a wide variety of maps as well.
Yeah.
I think I spectated them play against Australia on BF, and BF is kind of a strong Aussie map.
Yeah,
And
they can also play standard because I've seen the
Yeah.
Taiwan A guys speak Franks, Ethiopians, Britons on Arabia.
They like their Arabia
fun.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So
they're gonna be
will be
comfortable
interesting
on
to
Arabia, BF, Nomad, Team Islands. I believe they picked Mega Random in a scrimmage today as well. I can just imagine. Taiwan, fucking people up playing Mega Random. There's a chance it's not going to get played in the group stage because it's going to be banned first anyway. But I'll brace myself for when that actually arrives and try not to think about it for the time being. It's
yeah, it will be fun. It will be fun to see.
Just make every generation frontline. I don't know if you've seen that post earlier on today what Buddy had in the Discord.
Yeah.
But some guy
That's genius.
That's so funny. So Buddy posted some story about somebody in Vidblue or HD or something. Made a Mega Random lobby and must have just named it Mega Random, the script.
So yeah, the map was named Mega Random, but it was actually Arena.
That's it, the day they make ranked 1v1 lobbies. I'm making a script Arabia. I'm calling it Arabia, and I'm like giving myself 5 balls and stuff.
Oh god!
There were guys on Woobly who was playing like a custom Arabia that would favor one of the players. That was so you always had to be careful about the Arabia script. That if
so
the guys
sad.
were playing like a custom Arabia, it was yeah.
So sad.
It's there's potential to have fun with that.
God.
But yeah, I've heard about. Didn't Algernon? I think he did that to T90 on an Arabia once.
I hope he did.
Yeah, it was, but it was something weird. It's not exactly. You need to play it a specific way, and I didn't know what was happening. And
he made like a map where if you lamed, like really bad stuff was happening to you, or something like that. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was funny to see. But yeah, you could do that back in the day.
God.
All right.
What a relic of the past. Okay, Q16.
This is
Czech Republic, Romania. I think
and this is ongoing.
I think some people had this down as a set to watch, but honestly, I don't see anything apart from 3-0 to Czech Republic.
Well, it's already 1-1, so you're already wrong.
Okay, well, that's I'm gonna have to retract
Romania won game 1 as well.
Ooh, what was it?
Did they? No, like according to Wikipedia, Czech Republic won Nomad game 1, and then Romania won Arabia game 2.
Does it have who's playing for Romania? Does it have the player?
Romania has the full lineup, so they have Mihai, Andre, Saps, and Raven.
Okay, well, it's different then if Andre's actually there. See, so I said I was assuming that Andre wasn't going to be playing. So
both are Spec Dash and
check the map drafts and
because it says they're playing Spec Dash says it's 1-1, but they're playing Chaos, but there's no Chaos, but like Wikipedia
they're playing
says,
Arena game 3.
Yeah, I think there's a game missing somewhere. Yeah, because this is they're using it. So it's 2-1 for one of the teams. Don't know.
Right. Okay.
Right.
To
So
me, it was
just
an interesting set with advantage Czech Republic, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, seeing the 2-1 was a bit of a surprise for me. Like against India B, I'd really be honestly, I'd feel like I'd be expecting Romania to win that 2-0. So I didn't have a lot of confidence going into the Czech Republic game. If they've took a game off them at the very least, it's not too bad of a result in all honesty. And if they can like take
Yeah.
2 games, that should give them a lot of confidence going into silver.
India won Chaos Pit, India B.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a map that can go either way, right?
I feel like Chaos Pit is one of those maps that can be won by the lower rated team with like a good strat.
A well executed strat, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see
But
what
this
that result comes in the next couple hours or so. I'll be keeping my eyes
Yeah.
on that one. Maybe it'll be finished by the time we get to Q28. Let's hop on to 17 then.
Which
Mexico
is
B and
scheduled to
Finland
be
C.
played in half an hour.
Half an hour, I believe. Mexico B are all in a Discord just now. I can see them, and it looks like they are drafting.
Yeah, Mexico B is the Kino stack, and Finland C is I don't want to pronounce this name. Juihao Audemeister,
Yeah,
Ebu Yapala. Yeah,
not
those
bad
guys.
players by
So
any right.
oh, like the average team, like the Finland rating is like 2200. Well, they have a 114 team game rating.
Mm-hmm.
And Mexico is 2600 close because of that with like a 117. Mexico probably the favorite in this match though.
Oh yeah, and you have like Fury, HGB, and Envies in there who do play a lot of like TJs and whatnot. So give them any edge for sure. It's like it's like combination of teams, of course. I think obviously people know who Kino and Tatake are for not the right reasons, but HGB and Fury they've joined together as Mexico B.
Yeah.
They're known for other reasons.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into those reasons.
No, we don't. But they're in the Discord. I can see them. They're all looking rather snug. So it's all good.
This will be another one to see what's happening
Yeah,
there. And then
it certainly is. Finland B were quite disappointing. We'll probably touch on them pretty soon.
Yeah.
Maybe Finland C can do something.
spoilers.
Maybe Finland C can do anything. Okay, let's get on to Q18. And that was from this morning, Australia A versus France C.
Australia A against
yes.
France C.
Oh, Tarsiz is France B.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently not. Apparently was wrong. They are quite they are France C and the other one is France B.
Yep. Well and truly, Australia getting through
Yeah.
today 3-0, and the game you'd probably expect France to maybe take a game, or like most comfortable in. I'd probably say Arabia, and it was probably the worst game actually.
Yeah,
I would have
well,
said Golden Lakes or like water maps, but they also were missing, I think,
TFX,
which is like their best water player. He
Mhm.
was unavailable, so yeah. Team Island was banned by Australia, but it was banned second, so they had time to pick it before, so
I
they
think-
didn't want to.
I think prep wise, Australia could be a bit ahead of France there.
I think so. I think. Well, I know that France practiced and prepared, but I think Australia had the edge there. And also, like I think this week or last week they played a show match, Australia against Fox. And Fox is kind of a mix of France A, B, and C, and I think Fox won like 3-2 maybe.
Yeah, it was a 3-2 result.
But they won 3-2 with a stronger lineup than France C. So I think that was also a good sign for Australia C. Australia A, sorry.
especially after
And
getting beat by New Zealand.
and earlier this morning or last night, Zane got added to Australia's lineup.
Yes.
Which, yeah, that's another really good player. If he plays, is to be seen, but
Yeah.
it definitely strengthens them, I think.
I think we should not get our hopes too high on Shed
I
or
know.
Zane playing.
I know.
And also, like, like the more the team practices without them, the less it makes sense to add them like later on, because like they have developed automatic synergy with the four
Yeah.
guys and all that. So yeah.
But it goes that argument like Zane is like really really good. I'm gonna be wrong probably, but like
I
on
don't know.
flank,
Yeah.
he's really really good, right? And he is.
Is he or was
I'm
he?
pretty sure.
We can say
That
that
is true.
Zane was very good maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but is he still at the same level now? Because I feel like the level, especially in team game, it keeps increasing. So
That is
if you
also
are away
true.
for 2 years and you come back, suddenly like you used to be top tier and you're just like middle of the road. So I don't
People
know.
have too much nostalgia bias. That's it.
Yeah, like,
I'm
and we
allowed to have it.
we definitely have that, but
I
like we love
didn't
Zane and we love to see him
Zane what?
play.
He played what was it called? No, this is wrong turning. I'm looking at. I was wondering, didn't he, if he played there was a Australia team game turning, but now I can't. Yeah, last year Aussie draft, and actually no, they didn't go far. They lost to Team Dragon Star, but that was yeah. But like he's a really good player. Maybe we see him.
Quick update from my end. Just being informed that USB and Turkey A are going to be starting right now. So
Oh, nice.
that's nice. That
Nice.
sometimes when you make admin efforts and it still doesn't work, it's the most frustrating thing ever.
Yeah,
But oh my god, I'm so happy that's going to get played today because
for sure.
it's just such an unfortunate situation, and there's
Yeah.
no one you can't really point fingers because it's just something you can't plan for, have like proper contingencies. But I'm just really happy it's going to get played tonight.
For
Game
sure.
one's going to be on Two Rivers. They're already in lobby.
Fantastic, and
Yeah.
obviously working time zone like. I think Turkey are like 3 hours ahead of GMT. Then obviously US has fucking 5 time zones going across, depending on where you're living. Of course, you could, for all I know, one of them's living in Hawaii, and it could be like -11 or whatever it is. I'm like, oh my god, I'm just super happy that's gonna get played because it's been a lot of stress for me for the last day and a half.
Got an update as well. Germany B 3-0'd Germany C.
Ooh.
Is it?
Yeah, we were talking about that.
I mean, Darvo is saying that, but I don't see it updated on
I
Wikipedia.
probably just finished.
But are they just like speculating?
No, it was definitely.
Okay.
I think he has been watching.
That's big. I expected to be closer than that.
Yeah, because we were talking about it before Tarsiz joined. I was watching.
Okay.
Yeah, like just before you joined, the first game finished, and like it was even, at least from what I thought, was pretty even. And then Andorin, his Paganians' got caught. Like he was in the middle of nowhere, and then his flank got 2v1, and Castle dropped on Golden Lakes, and
Yeah,
that's basically it. Was rough from there on, but it was even before that. I felt.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And before someone else says I'm wrong, but
okay. We still have
that's
that.
why I started watching it.
We still have that pool to get to. We can see who else was in that one. Let's move on to Q19. That was Norway A, who did have to save their blushes in this one against
Germany D.
against Germany D, then Italy C as well. I was nearly going to force them to play game 3, but Italy C, they didn't want to go on. NBL ended up getting Sling from Viper, if I remember right. Didn't know the Sling rules.
Oh yes.
Tried to sling it
And-
back, didn't get the full 100, only sent 96.
He even like
He was even buying
he even
stone.
had to buy stone
Yeah,
to send
to
back.
pay.
Oh,
That was great.
Germany D had beaten Germany G 2-1 in the previous
2-1.
game.
and that was a good one. And the same thing, the sling thing happened in the Germany D as well. Someone
Really?
slung 100 stone. It was the weirdest thing, but they did end up slinging it back. And that's the exact reason I have like this mechanism, because if someone fucks up, I think it's really unfair to like punish a full team if like the rest
Yeah.
of them know the rules and they can just say, "Oh, we'll send it back," and you've been taxed, and then you're losing the resources anyway.
Yeah.
But if no one knows the rules and someone slings and then no one does anything, well then you deserve to lose the game. Like those are
For
two
sure.
very different situations for me.
Yeah, I watched the games from Viper's point of view, and it was not close. They were not in any trouble at any point.
Yeah, I watched from
So-
Vipers. They were just chilling.
And
Yeah.
I missed them yesterday. I'll watch once I get time. It's always fun to watch as well. The
Yeah.
banter.
I feel like they are playing, like their strategies on Arena are pretty good. Already against France, they had played it well. So it's probably gonna be a map that some teams will try to ban against Norway. Well, it depends on the team they face.
Yeah, I think you need to ban as many close maps as possible against Norway.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, you want the open map so you can try to prey on the weaker players of the team.
You go for mega random. That's it's I guess
Golden Lakes. Because even like, do you want to play water against Viper? Like, maybe you want to do like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I think Norway is probably one of those teams that nobody would want to have in their group, and they're pool 3, so
I know.
yeah,
gonna
not
be-
Oh
teams
boy, oh
that-
boy.
yeah.
they're gonna be definitely the team nobody wants to play in that group or from that pot.
And they might not be practicing, but the full lineup has been playing. So
Yeah.
There's not that question mark that like Canada or Austria has. There's no doubts that Norway are actually they're in it to play. They might not be practicing like all the time, but everyone's
Yeah.
getting game time and they're like still making use of like what they've got at the moment. So
What cracks me up as well with Norway is that their comms are in English.
I
They're
know,
speaking
right?
English all the time,
Yeah.
and yeah, they're just casually slapping. Yeah. Obviously, two superstars in that lineup, Viper and BL. So
And then
we'll see how they do.
our Black Forest superstar in Keller, we'll give them that.
Yeah, Keller, HD star, famous
The
YouTuber.
OG Britain's bot on the flank as
Yeah,
well.
true. You used to be top 1 team game ladder on DE.
Yeah.
So,
Spamming Britons, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
So
did.
one of the most popular teams for people to watch, for no doubt, as we get into the main event with the players that they do have, and hopefully POV streams. And like I said, one of the most interesting parts of watching and listening to Norway is the banter that goes on, and I'm sure NBL will be on the receiving end of much more of it. Not in a bad. It's always nice to see NBL humbled, you know.
Yeah.
Not like in a bad way.
I really like the dynamic between Viper and NBL. It's like it's like a kind of younger brother, older brother.
I was about to say,
it's
it's the complete big brother vibe that you like look up to and respect, and NBL's like the little brother is a little bit more mischievous, and you have to look out for them and protect them. That's the total dynamic that they have between each other. It's super fun.
Now you talk about NBL, like just imagine playing them on Team Islands. You have on water. Vipers playing is probably one of the best ever on water, and then you'll have NBL landing and just being annoying at such a. It really makes it hard to play to pick a
I
map
wonder,
against
do you like? Yeah, I guess guess landing is so important nowadays
Yeah,
on Team Island, because I was gonna say,
It's,
do you
100%.
sacrifice another guy or do you send MBL to really fuck up the other team?
you send
It's-
MBL,
Yeah,
make it messy.
he's so good
It's
at that.
yeah, and he can do that messy stuff. It's like it just makes it like on paper, if like they take this seriously, it'll be so hard to play against.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in certain maps. I think in the playoff restage is going to be a difficult one to decide where to ban BF or they ban Arena against them.
Hmm.
I think that's probably going to be the first protocol for most opponents. But I don't
Whichever
see
you're
them.
more
I don't see them
comfortable on.
losing a lot of games on BF or Arena. In all honesty, against
Yeah, honestly, I
most
think,
teams.
but then they probably need like one or two other maps in which they can score wins against like the top teams if they want
Yeah.
to really compete. You know, like probably never gonna win Arabia against like a pot one team. It's gonna be super hard. Like France, Finland, or even like China on Arabia, it's gonna be super hard.
Yeah.
But maybe like they can do something like Two Rivers, Team Island.
They do not like Two Rivers.
Man, they
Yeah,
hate it.
they've banned it. It was their first ban.
I think like Buddy was talking up is like maybe we should play this because then we're going to be a bit more prepared for the main
Yeah.
event. And you know what,
Mhm.
Buddy, you're probably thinking about it a bit better than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Piper's just like, no, I don't want to play this map.
They could count on Nomad. I feel like Viper and NBL are probably very good on Nomad. I don't know too much about the others. I don't feel like Kellar would really enjoy Nomad. He strikes me as more like a traditional meta player.
Originally, Keller and MBL are both kind of nomad haters.
Okay.
It's not really It's not really a map that they enjoy. Viper more so, and he should be the one like kind of calling shots there. And most games you'd be expecting to call the shots, but he would be given a lot of direction on Nomad for sure. It depends how receptive MBL is. His game with Nomad the other day was funny. Just dominated in the water with cannon galleons and longboats. They had the strangest civs for Nomad. It was super weird. Like all water
I
civs.
did have Vikings, Persians,
Malians and Dravidians.
Dravidians too, yeah.
Yeah, and I had to give. So with Dravidians now, you don't need to make the starting house, of course. And to be played in the game, Viper didn't make the house. I think it was it Tor that was in the game as well.
Yeah.
He didn't make the house, and I go to like MBL. I go to the dock. There's a house there. I'm like, MBL man, come on.
I might have done that a couple times in Nomad Wars 3. And I got bailed out each time there was a restart. So
It was also the same thing with Cower. He'd made a house, and I'm like, guys, come on. If you're gonna, it's fine to hate on a map, but you gotta know the optimal thing. Come on. Getting a early fishing ship is so nice.
Yeah,
gotta save that wood, especially when you have Vikings as your team. Team bonus as well. The cheaper docks. Easy for all. Okay, let's get on to 20.
This is the first upset so far.
Big upset. Big upset. And I would say, if I was to look at this at face value, and just in terms of the teams, I look at the lineups, I would say like, wow. But after watching Finland B, I understand the result way more. And no disrespect to Finland B, but you know, they were.
I saw the show match. That's all I know.
It was disappointing, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't watch the set, but it's quite impressive, especially when you look at the civs. Like Team Islands, France had Portuguese, Japanese, Italians, and Vikings, and they lost that game against Malay, Bulgarians, Burgundians, and Byzantines.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's first upset so far, and I think it's probably gonna be the only upset. Because in the first 3 pools, there's no upset so far. The last 2 pools of 4, no upset. And yeah, that might be the only upset of the qualifying round. We'll see about like Turkey against UK, USA B,
Mm-hmm.
and Czechia against Romania. But for now, yeah, only upsets.
Which, considering they're in pool 20, is very impressive.
Yeah, because it's quite a lot of difference.
For sure. And the big thing for France is you beat that opponent, you also gain their seed. So they're inserted into pot 3 now. They're not going to go on like pot 4. They go straight into pot 3, and they deserve it, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So big congrats to them.
Yeah, they'll definitely be underdogs. But yeah, very good result for them. And so the teams that finish 3 and 4 in groups, they will drop down to Silver League, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't end up for them just like
Yeah,
making this
so
upset.
the exact format of Silver League is the top 16 from the opening stage are going to play together. First versus second. Then the next round, the fourth place teams join in from gold, and then the round after that, the third place teams join the round after that. So it's
Okay.
like staggered.
But yeah.
I used the term to Adiko. I said single elimination knockout. I just meant like a traditional like knockout bracket, where everyone's chucked in. And he showed me this, and I was like, oh wow, it's actually quite a good idea. I quite like that. It's like you have the different teams going in from depending on your placement from that round. It should be a bit more competitive instead of just lumping everybody in. I was like, that's actually a good idea, Adiko. So it's like let's just do that.
Yeah. And like the France team, like I know they're all pretty good individually, but I wasn't expecting them to be working as a team so well so early. So I think pulling this upset is probably gonna give them lots of motivation to play.
100%. Did France take the B spot of Finland? Mad Tomsky 1904. Yes, they did. They did indeed. But like I said, biggest upset probably the full bracket, and
The only upset so far.
Yeah, I mean,
in terms of seeding
for the final round, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'll
Okay,
be right back.
no problem. Let's get on to 21 in Panda.
That is.
It's Brazil B and Argentina C. I was actually kind of surprised to see Argentina C didn't take a game, but they did also drop a game to Mexico E. So maybe not. Let's just check the roster. Do you know who played for Brazil B? I believe it was Fiage Live. I think Jose, aka Pizito, played, and Rookstar played the other one.
I've never seen Rookstar.
I've never seen Rookstar either, but Jose, Fiage, and Alive I've seen a bit of. And then there was no Ria, of course, he was there in the season. And then there's good players in Argentina C. Heisen, Dexter, Thomas, Redlash, Nahul, Cielo. It's not a bad team by any means, but didn't manage to take a game in the end.
I think that this Brazil team could be good. Could be a thorn in some people's sides.
Maybe it's going to be the blessing of the B.
I know people say like VH and Alive aren't like very active, but I think they're more active than people think, and they also have a big roster, right?
They do have a big team. So they have certainly lots of different avenues you can go depending on scheduling and what's needed.
This isn't Alive, VH, Riyadh, Logan. That's literally Wolverine. They've got God on their team. Like, how can they not lose, right? But yeah, this is a big. Wanderson is also last on the team. I've seen that name before, but I can't remember where. It's definitely gonna be. I think they'll probably be. What like. The one day they might just like, oh well, they just did this. And other days it's just gonna be Yeah, okay, this happened. Nothing unexpected. So
I think this is a cut-off for Pool 3, if I remember right.
this is the first team in Pool
the
D.
Pool 4.
Yeah.
So that might be honestly, that you could be right. That's probably going to be a thorn in some people's side. Like, you probably want the bottom seeded team in your group to be like a walkover, a little bit of a confidence booster. Maybe that's going to be a bit more challenging. But you could also have the perspective that you maybe want it to be a bit more challenging, so it gets you prepared for better opponents. If you
They
have
might be the team. They 2-1 like a pot A team, and then just get 3-0 on all the others. That'd be it'll be interesting to watch them. But I like, and most, like, some of you don't see them being very, like, people say, they're not very active, but I think they are deceptively active in that sense.
Active.
If there's such a term.
I'm looking forward to seeing Free It does play. Certainly don't have an expectation level for it, but I will be keeping a very keen eye on it for sure.
Yeah.
As many people will be.
I don't think he'll play.
I don't think so either.
Probably not.
I hold out some hope.
I'll be cool.
It'd be very cool. Obviously, loads of players out there put the work for this. Okay, let's get on to 22. That means we're on to the last 6 or so. I'm doing all right for time, so we're quite all right. This was an interesting one. I did watch this one POV from Vietnam B, and did get the feel against Uruguay A. Uruguay A actually had a very solid team, but the fourth player was in around the 1600, 1700 level, and unfortunately, it's hard to cover up those kind of cracks when you're playing up against like a Vietnam B where everyone's like 2K1, 2K2, plays a lot of team games together. But it was certainly an interesting dynamic with Sebastian as like the captain of the team, who's sitting like at 2K5, 2K6.
Yeah, Sebastian probably the best player out of these 8, but yeah, not enough to compensate for difference in skills of the two teams. Very convincing win for Vietnam B, I'd say.
They've had quite a few Chaos Pit games recently, Vietnam B. So they should be well versed in what's coming up in main event if they do have to play it again. The Australia D was a funny one to watch as well. I think Hope was stuck in like 20 vels for all of the game. He lost his TC and he pretty much took all his villagers from the TC, went to his allies' base, just went behind their walls and just focused on getting towers in the opponent. I didn't care about getting any more villagers. He was like, nope, I'm Spanish, I'm just gonna make towers and you're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I was like, fair enough.
That sounds like a game to watch.
Yeah.
I was like, that's such like a typical like Vietnamese player kind of reaction. Like, not everyone would have like the confidence to go and do that. It's just like total. It's like, okay, my TC's gone. I'm like disruptor mode activated. I know what I need to do now, and my God, he did do it. Uruguay, I'll be interested to see how they do in silver. I'll be keeping my fingers crossed for them. I really hope they're able to do something in Silver League.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Get their confidence up a little bit, and then when the bottom 16 join up from gold when they do get knocked out, we'll see how far they could potentially go if they do make it into the knockout stage.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on to 23.
That was China B against Russia B.
I'm surprised to see.
Wikipedia just got updated.
Oh.
It confirms the Germany result.
We're nearly there, Panda. We're nearly there.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry. My bad, I forgot about that.
We're so
I watched this today. The China Russia set today was Robo.
I was surprised, like 3-1. Actually, Russia B should be fairly happy taking the game.
I didn't see the Team
They won
Acropolis game.
Arena.
That
Yeah.
Arena game was not kind of close. It was let's need to where's so that was it? Oh yeah, so Stray Dog trashed Russia's Portuguese player. He kind of got in, and he killed like Portuguese player was on 15 volts, but he couldn't stop organ guns. It was one of those games again, like a Portuguese guy. He just stopped making villages and just made organs basically. It was. And Bad Koala got trashed. He opened with militia, like because he knew the Polish trash was coming in. It was he shut it down, but they didn't transition. Oh yeah, and then Bad Koala he came for forward castle, and then Paul's castle was up faster than his, so it was like stuck on 80%.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then
he's one of my favorite players to watch. Bad
Yeah,
Koala is an absolute delight. Yeah, he's so fun to watch, especially when it comes to 1v1. He's someone else to look out for, like crazy, like forward strats all the time.
That's cool.
He's still a connoisseur of towers, which is amazing. There's not too many players that are connoisseurs of towers in open maps, but he certainly is someone that will still go for a trush on Arabia if he's playing a 1v1, which I can respect in the current meta.
And then the Nomad game. I mean, I don't think China loses a Nomad game
against Russia.
Really?
Yeah.
There's gonna be some big RNG at play there.
It was surprisingly even, like on water and feudal, but it just snowballed after that. If you look at the civs, right, you could have thought this was a Team Islands game, like China, Dravidians, Vikings, Lithuanians, Malians, and then Russia, Japanese, Byzantines, Italians, Malay.
Yeah, it's like Cold War season almost.
But yeah, it didn't really translate.
It's kind of a shame that didn't play Arabia. I would have loved to see Stray Dog on Arabia.
Someone else is just great to watch. Super fun player to watch. This China B team has just got Mavericks in them.
Yeah. And I think it's one of these teams like you don't want to see. Like it's a pool 4 team. And I think they might be maybe not the best team because like Sweden is pretty dangerous too, Italy as well. But definitely not a team you will ever feel comfortable playing against.
Oh god,
and you need to ban Nomad against them.
Yeah,
100%. That's gonna be a proper home map for them because it's got the legend of Duedi. Let alone the rest of them. But yeah, it's gonna be one of those teams that that are in pot 4, and people are gonna be like, nope, shaking their heads. Don't want them. Do not want them. Please, not me.
Yep.
They're gonna be one of the first ones out of the. They're gonna be one of the first teams drawn tomorrow because I'll be starting with pot 4 and then working my way up. So it'll be very tense for some people as we do get to that.
For sure.
I've worked out that it's much better to work your way up than go to the top, than go from top down. So I don't know what they're doing at FIFA, UEFA. They're not doing it the right way because it's got much more suspense if you actually work your way up from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, and you build up the hype as well.
Yeah, because everyone's got their fingers at their mouth, nails getting bitten off. Please, not us. Please. And then Ireland A, that was an interesting one because they do have Fenor in the squad. They'll be in bronze now, so I'll be keeping an eye on Ireland A actually. I'll be trying to cast a couple of those games if I can and just see how they're doing.
Yeah.
A name that again came out the woodwork. His brother's not here unfortunately, but we do have Fenor at the very least. Okay, let's get on to 24. Last 5, including this one then. Sweden A getting a very convincing result against Brazil D with the 3-0, but not a massive surprise. But I think Sweden, honestly, a super, super solid team. And then this
Sweden playing really well. seen them slaughter Finland B in the show match, which retrospectively might not mean a lot, considering Finland B got upset as well. But yeah, they're playing super solid, and they'll be one of the
I think that
strongest
show
team of that
match,
pool four, I think, pot four.
Yeah.
that show match was also a sweep, so there's a chance for like Sweden to be better than.
Sweden are running high, man. They've got confidence. They should have
Yeah,
confidence.
yeah, definitely. I mean,
And like,
Genji just hot from a super strong performance in T90's Titan League, and the rest
yeah.
of the team is also like. I feel like they are team game players mostly, so that's
Yes.
always good.
And like this Brazil team was not bad. They've got like Gabby in there. They've got Onleki.
Yeah.
Like good players
Yeah.
in their own right. So I think 3-0 was actually like quite a big statement because we're now getting to the pools where the seeding should be a lot more reduced. But yeah, 3-0 was definitely a very commanding result and not even dropping a game. I don't know. I didn't see the game, so I don't know the actual manner of them. You know, those games could have been very close. The games could have been not very close at all. And, you know, 3-0 can sometimes flatter teams, but
Yeah.
I think Brazil D are probably going to be one of the favourites going into this kind of like second section to like get into the later stages of silver, but we'll see. Yeah, General Inks in the team as well is also a good player. Gibolo, it's a good team, man. It is a good team.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it do well. Okay, let's move on to 25. Technically getting to
That is
the tighter the tighter series, and we do have one here, Italy A versus Brazil C. Italy did drop a game in the end. But honestly, Italy got a very solid team. Kamigawa, Vodka's not really been involved yet. I think yesterday it was Kami, Nani Marin. I'm not sure if
Shades.
Shades and Salsicho or Rise play.
They both played.
Okay.
So Rise played 3 games. Salsicciotto played 2 games. Yeah. Kamigawa and Danny Marin played every game.
Mm-hmm.
And Shades played 3 out of 4. Yeah, looks like a convincing win, but again, I think that was expected from them. Team Island, it looks like Brazil went with a crazy strategy because I see they have Goth in their
Oh god.
cursives. Khmer, Saracens, Goth, and Vikings.
No
That doesn't scream
Italians.
like
No, come
that
on.
doesn't scream like a water team. And yet they won the game. So probably had like a very aggressive landing strategy there that worked out.
Yeah, it sounds like multiple players. They went for triple land on Team Islands. Okay. Okay.
That's the way to do it.
Okay. And how do you
I
react to
approve.
that? How the fuck do you react to triple landing?
You start crying.
Like,
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Khmer,
that-
Saracens, Goth. It's like very three.
but
It's
see,
like 3 civ that can get lots of units. You can break walls with Saracens.
sounds horrible.
but I know, like, at least in squad, Pete would still use Saracens as like a, say, a pocket, like pocket plated galleys, right? So like you'd think, okay, Saracens is not a bad not a bad galleys, but 3 landings. That's the part where I would goes like, I'm so glad I'm the guy counter landing because I do not have to deal with this shit. That would be my reaction to it, at least.
Mhm.
Not my problem, guys. That's I have a base on the other side. But yeah, that must be rough playing against.
God, triple landing. I think I need to go back and actually watch that. Sheesh. Sounds interesting.
Well, Salsicciotto said one of them defended their own
Yeah,
island.
that
So
makes sense to me. If one just defends,
I can see Saracens and Goth landing and Khmer defending with lots of scouts and stuff like that.
and then everyone backdocking, I suppose. Trying to like trickle in fires and maybe just defend that way.
Yeah, that must be like I love the dynamics of Team Islands.
It's a classic team game map. You know, for me, it's one of the Water gets such a bad reputation in the Age of Empires kind of like fandom, but Team Islands and big 4v4 is just it's probably the.
I feel like
so
maybe
good.
sometimes the game become a bit stale if it goes, like the landing kind of do their own thing, then fizzled out, and then it goes into a late game water fight. Then it can be really campy. When the teams start trading and
Wood
they
game.
start buying wood, like that is boring. But until then, it's usually fun.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
And that's a petition for Next Nations Cup to include Brazil, and then
Oh my god, be quiet.
Yes, that is literally.
You don't land on Brazil.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Makes it super boring.
It's like the Arabia of water maps. You play super tight up times, lots of micros and stuff.
Panda, I don't want to watch Battle of Build Orders. I want to watch Battle of Strategy.
Yeah.
You need to make the bold order, but what's happy? I'm just like it was a whole map of like my team years back in
okay, so
tournament.
You're coming from a biased perspective. Okay, I'm glad we cleared that up. I'm glad we all know where we're at.
We punched above our weight, so the map holds.
But that doesn't make any sense that you say you're punching above your weight when Robo with probably 300 rating points below the rate he should be at.
But I was back on Goobly when it was.
Well, even then, Robo camped like a 1700 rate for like years. So
I killed an 1800 on it, so with Byzantine fires. So
and you're still talking about it.
Yes, always.
Still talking about it.
You need to keep those victories.
Okay, let's get.
All right, let's get back to Denmark, Japan.
Yeah, the next one is interesting.
And yeah, definitely interesting. Denmark taking that one 3-2, and that was another one we kind of earmarked to be a very close set. Probably would have been a 3-2, so we did get that one right.
Yeah,
and it ended up being Denmark, but Japan were 2-1 up in the series, so close to making it to the main event, but couldn't see it through and giving up 2 match points.
Yeah, I think honestly it's a pretty good result for Denmark because I think I had predicted Japan to win. I don't know about you guys, but I think we were all in agreement Japan could be actually the favorite. Yeah. So yeah, pretty good results. The only other 3-2 of the group stage with Finland B against France B of the qualification stage. Last matches, I mean. So yeah, close one. Went to Denmark.
No Krasini. I did
no
check.
Krasini.
No Krasini. That was very
sadly
sad. Very sad.
I guess there was no arena, so they didn't need his monk skills there. Yeah.
It's funny how Krasini has this like reputation as
having
legendary monk micro.
I've seen it. It was the poor guy. It was an attorney. His opponent didn't know what hit him.
Of course he didn't.
It was really good.
So I think the general consensus in Denmark from the overall scene is they might be a little bit overrated. I guess you could maybe even still say that with the game being so close against Japan, but maybe Japan were a little bit underrated. It's a tough one to say, but we'll see what they can do in the main event. They'll be very happy to be there. Coming back and winning the series 3-2 after being down 2-1 is going to give you a big confidence boost. So
yeah, I think that's a great result, and especially when you're one of the underdogs. I think playing against the strong teams in the main event is gonna give you like a good practice run.
Oh yeah,
for Silver League, because like I don't think Denmark realistically can hope to get out of the groups. Like I mean they're gonna try obviously, but they're gonna be big underdogs. But then in Silver Leagues with that experience of playing against top teams, it could be a boost for them, I think.
Mm-hmm. And even this series with Japan probably sets them up quite well for the main event as well. You know, having the 3-2.
Very good confidence booster.
Just having competitive games though in the same instance as well, it does kind of. I think you'd rather get put through your paces a little bit, so you don't really find things out as much if you're stomping people 3-0, you know.
Mhm.
Until you like come up against a team that's going to question what you're doing and actually put you through your paces. That might be like on that day you might not react to it too well, but if you've had an instance where that's already happened, then you might be a little bit more well prepared. So let's see what they can do. It's all going to depend on the groups.
Yeah, Denmark making it to the main event means that we have a full set of Scandinavian countries in the main event. Norway, Sweden, Denmark all made it.
I'm so glad you did not say Finland because I was just about to go. Actually,
Finland isn't
Finland
a
is a
Scandinavian
Nordic
country. Exactly, and I didn't say all Nordic countries because we're missing Iceland in the main event.
Yeah.
So yeah.
People always think Finland's part of Scandinavia, but it's not.
It's not.
How dare they have a similar flag and make it so confusing? Score update: Czech Republic did win against Romania 3-1.
Yeah.
I think it's a good result for
31.
Romania, to be honest. I think they should be pleased taking a game. I think Czech Republic are
Good
very
for them
solid.
for taking Arabia. Yeah.
And Canada, no surprise, did beat Germany C 3-0 as well.
No surprise.
No surprises. Let's see if they're playing any more games. I know they did that after their previous set. Okay, last two. This was played tonight. Germany B versus Germany C. I did predict Germany B would win this one, but I think both of us said Tarsiz it was going to be a 3-2. I don't think any of us saw a 3-0 coming.
I was backing Germany C, so you're right.
I mean, I was right, but we had it like coin cost, kind of, you know, like we did not see this coming at all.
Yeah.
And I guess fair credit to Germany B. I think I was talking to Wes the other day in Twitch chat, and he was like, "Oh my god, this map pool is so bad for us because they're used to like playing Arabia, but
yeah,
I mean, they've got a good result against the C team, so who knows what they can do going into the main event."
They turned every map into Arabia, maybe.
Yeah.
It's interesting the lineup that Germany C played. Like I guess it depends like who is active and who is in shape, and they know better than us. But I was expecting to see Skittle, for example, because he's been like one of the driving forces of NC zone guys for a long time. Maybe he's not playing that much more these days. And yeah, so it was mostly like the OP guys. So Fatman, LZ25. I don't know that guy at all. Arf, then Endorin. Ah, interesting. I must confess, like I don't know many of these names, and yet they're playing at a really high level. So yeah, good on Germany.
So Laka guys. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of them are. I don't know when they started playing and whatever, but certainly.
I know Django only started playing with DE. The other ones I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, big congrats to them. That was probably the one we had earmarked out to be arguably the closest series going into the final one. But
weren't they like
got in the end
close to each other as well, like on the turn?
They
were right next to each other.
Yeah.
31-34. So.
Yeah, that's. And then it's. I'd agree. It's definitely there is like the scoreline is a big surprise.
Yeah, for sure. Matt Tom says they all started. Most of it started with DE. Yeah, I would say that most of the Laka guys are new names for sure.
I've been playing this game for 6 years now, and I still
catching up on new people. Quick one on Spain. Juan is playing tonight.
Ooh,
nice.
Juan is playing, and they've got Juan and Tato Pocket.
Yep.
Was that? Was this game one?
Yeah,
Golden
they're
Lakes.
playing Golden Lakes.
Spec Overlay has them game 2 now.
Yeah, and they won that. It was a 34-minute game, so not the longest. And then Canada tonight was Slam, Chris, Silverstar, and Mentalist.
It looks like Chile is at least 2-0 up against Hungary A.
From what I can see as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Two Rivers game with USB and Turkey, 38 minutes ago, still going on. Everybody in Imperial
Nice.
Age. So, looks like a
That
competitive
should be a
game.
good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need to find a way to not be spoiled by this. Like the said, I want to watch it back
Oh my,
tomorrow.
do you see Tarz's comment on Twitch? Tarsiz first Incavel rushing me in Fibly and now doesn't remember me. Sad face.
Yeah.
Toxic.
Did I do that? I think I lost. Because I Inca rushed once on Bubi and I think I lost that game.
I think I think I even watched.
Oh, now
maybe.
I'm getting flashbacks. I did and I won.
You went through a period, I think, where we stopped playing like pranks only.
Idolizing Nobre.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but no, it is. You're like probably twice my elo, so.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's so funny.
Well, now I have to root for Germany B to win the whole thing.
Well, he's really proved you wrong now. Tarz has been holding on to that for years. And then he saw that you were on a talk show and you said that Germany C were going to win. And he's like, oh, he still doesn't remember me. And now we're definitely going to have to do it now.
I think it was because of like Noboru was doing all this in Garage and stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah, this sounds fun to try.
And it is. That is what all I done at the start of DE. I used to play Incas. And that's all I used to do. I'd have random turned on. But if I was getting Incas at 11, 1200, all I would do is just Tower Rush and Vel Rush. I received a lot of you know what? All of that hate I received in game prepared me for being an admin in Age of Empires. I was prepared for all of the salt. People get seriously wound up.
Yeah.
That was such an obnoxious thing too. But actually, I don't think I've ever got to play against it.
I seriously miss it.
All right, should we move on to the final match?
Pool 28.
Yeah.
Not too much to talk about here.
Not too much to talk about.
Not too much to talk about, which is good because I need to leave to work for like 10 minutes. But India did end up getting an admin win over Netherlands. So the full story in this one is big carnival going on in Netherlands this weekend. Simply just didn't have the players to really play. Have a team of 10, but only 6 of them have been active as far as I know. And just couldn't make it work. Work.
A bit unfortunate. I was looking forward to this one because we have like an interesting dynamic with the India team, and on paper it was the closest set of the qualifiers. But yeah, unfortunate. I hope that Netherlands can play well in Silver League, and then India is gonna be a good one to watch. Obviously, underdog by virtue of seeding and all that. But yeah.
Yeah, and with with what's I gonna say there with India? They did drop in seeding quite a bit the last week or so as well. So you could maybe argue I don't know, like I didn't really keep up to terms into like kind of why they dropped seeding. Like they could have been like picking random civ or maps they didn't like, but could have been slightly underrated potentially. So we'll see what they can kind of do.
Yeah, it looks like their team game factor is pretty low, but their 1v1 rates are pretty high.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
Like they might have been like queuing like solo, and then if you queue solo, honestly, you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna have a bad time.
I must say it's very unsurprising a team with Stroll on it getting admin loss.
Oh god.
It's happened for years, so I know he's not.
It's like even when he's not involved, just like his aura is.
He brings it with him,
giving off the energy.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's a shame, and you know it's a shame for Netherlands and shame for India, and shame for the tournament in general. But these things do need to happen.
Yeah, and
Um,
they'll have other chances later to show what they can do. So yeah,
Yeah.
we can look forward to seeing them.
the show has to go on, and especially when we have such a tight kind of time frame for the group stage. We could
Yeah, yeah.
allow somebody to delay for like 3 days, and that eats into that time. We could get to the 3 day point, and then what someone has to do. We'd maybe be given an admin loss at that point, so then it was all for nothing. Or they maybe want to delay another 2 days. There's so many different kind of like permutations that can happen from it, and
hmm
tough call to make, but it had to be done, unfortunately. But that's the last one. That concludes every pool. And honestly, that took a little bit longer than I was expecting. It was 2 hours and 20.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yes, we had a lot of talk, lots of things to talk about.
We done. Well, I guess I had a 10-minute intro, so it was about 2 hours 10, but we done pretty well.
Mm.
And I was trying to get through it fast. I charged
Imagine if we didn't, we would be here till tomorrow.
that honestly, that's the concerning part for me. Is that was actually I was trying to just bang bang bang. Let's do this. Jeez, that could have been. It could be an easy 5-hour job, but it wasn't. We'll see what the results bring in tonight. Would be expecting Spain to make it through against USAC. I guess we'll all be looking out for that USB Turkey series. I'm not sure who
Yeah.
the first result of Mexico B and Finland was. I think they played a game already.
On Wikipedia, it's not updated yet. It looks like they're playing Chaos Speed Game 1. It's still ongoing.
It could be a private lobby.
It will just be lacking Argentina against Taiwan.
Looks like Specs is on. Okay, I think they played the game already though.
Yeah, this should be game 2 then, I think.
Maybe the first one was private. I don't really know.
Also, some of the Mexicans are streaming.
Yeah,
so.
I think they're streaming with 2 minutes on a delay as well. And then looks like Chile did win the final game on Team Islands against Hungary, so Hungary going into Silver League.
Yeah, that would be an expected result. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, that'll be it for me tonight. Thank you very much for joining me again, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
See each other again. I don't know when the next natural time will be. What do we think?
Don't know.
After the group stage?
I mean, we could in theory have a preview after. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. I guess the next natural stage is actually a preview after the groups come out, but that's obviously a tight time frame. And then the one after that would be group stage review.
There'll probably be games played before we can get it in.
Yeah.
Thanks to time zones and stuff.
I would think so.
Yeah, I want to watch some games for next time. So like this time, I didn't have really a lot of time to watch the series, obviously because of time zones.
It's so hard
lots of
being
things that
8
happening
hours
this
behind.
weekend.